I need some space.
Hi.
I need some space.
Arav
I
needs
need
some
some
more
space.
space.
I
Arav
need
needs
some
some more space.
I need some space.
As always, the space monster is here
I
saying
need
hello to
some
you.
space.
So this is Arav.
Hello.
And this is Mama. Hi, I'm
And this is
Preeti.
Ghost.
I'm not a ghost. So if you are already here, just say a quick hello to us.
This is Mountain.
I'm Mountain. I'm not Mountain, but today's story is about a very, very special person from India. Hi, Kashvi. Thanks for joining us. Who else is here?
Hi,
Neeram is
Neeram.
here. Hello. Who else is here? Let's see. Anirudh is here. Hi, Anirudh. And Ria is here. Hi, Ria. All right. The magic hat is shaking. The magic hat is shaking. The magic hat is
shaking.
What do the magic hat have today, Arav?
But you have to say the magic potion. Abracadabra, sarka masala, chili ka wala, mountain ka hala, magic ka wala. कुछ नहीं भाई triangle वाला triangle. Ghost, mountain. Abracadabra, wala.
Today the magic hat needs a lot of spells. Can you see that? Boom! What's inside the hat? There's a mountain
and a story.
So we are going to meet Mr. Manjhi today. Have you ever been to a village?
Yeah.
So in story number 22, we are going to a very small village in India. Have you been to a village, Arav?
Not really.
Have you been to a village ever?
But I have been to India in a diaper.
Right. So let me see. Are you all ready with your listening ears? Are you all sitting down very nicely for the story time? Let's go right into the story. So this story is about a person called Manjhi. And you know, stories are two kinds, Arav. There is fiction and there is non-fiction.
So this one is a fiction one.
It's a non-fiction.
How do you know?
I know, because fictions are not real. They are coming from somebody's imagination. It's not real.
But nobody can carry a mountain.
He did not carry a mountain. He did something else which is very interesting with the mountain, which we will share with you. But just to let you know, it's a real story. This actually happened. Manjhi is a person in India for real.
Okay.
This is a true story. So it's a fiction or non-fiction?
Non-fiction.
It's a non-fiction.
Let's see what's in the other page.
Let's go. Are you ready to go in the village?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there is no road, okay? So you better watch your steps when you're walking in this story. Because there's like many stones there, and the road is very, very sandy. Like the roads we have in Singapore, right? Very smooth, cemented roads. It's not like that in this village. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Buckle your seatbelts, fasten it up, and we are going to the village. Let's go, everybody. Fine. Deep in the heart of India, a mighty mountain separated two villages. One was Manjhi's village. Manjhi is the name of a person, and the other was the other village. On Manjhi's side, nothing grew. Like literally nothing grew. People were hungry. Children, they gave up going to school because they had to walk 40 long miles to go to the school, which was on the other side of the mountain. So just imagine, there is a big mountain here. There's one village on this side. There's another village on the other side. This is Manjhi's village. There's nothing. No school, no hospital, no plants, no food, nothing. And this is the other village where they have everything. So to be able to go to school, what did they have to do, Ara? They have to climb up the mountain and then down and then go to school. Do you think it's very difficult?
Yeah.
And that to 40 miles. You know how much is 40 miles?
Yeah.
1
But-
mile is like 1.6 kilometers.
Yeah, but it will be more if it was 10,000 miles. Dude, it'll be not lucky.
No, baby, but it's not like just walking 10,000 mile on the road. No, it's not
I
like
know.
walking 40 miles on
It's
the road.
also quite
It's
hot.
40 miles on the mountain. Just imagine climbing up and down.
Oh, that is quite tiring. And one
It's
thing,
quite tiring.
in India, it's also very hot. You'll get
It's
a lot
very
of sweat.
hot. So, children, they couldn't go to school, and adults, they groaned on the jagged, long climb to plow the fields or shop at the market. So, even when they had to look after their field, they have to climb up the mountain. To go to the market, they have to climb up the mountain. Just imagine there's nothing available. Nothing available.
Wow.
To get anything at all, you have to go to the
Mountain.
terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
On the other side, rice and wheat
Wow.
flowered and flourished. People's bellies were full and pockets jangled with money. And Manji's side was very, very
Whoa.
poor. Every day, Manji paused at the top of the mountain to catch his breath and gaze at the two villages, because when you are at the top, you can look at both the villages on both the sides. He thought, why should some people have so much and others so little? Why is it like that? Manji tried to think of an answer as he made his way down the mountain to plant and harvest on the other side so that he can earn some money by growing some food. If only the two villages were closer, if only the two villages were not separated by the mountain, right? If only there was a road between the two villages, life would have been so much easier. But right now, what is there between the two villages?
The
Only a
mountain.
big, huge.
Mountain.
He thought, if only there were a way to move the mountain. But is it possible to move the mountain?
Yes, you have to do a lot of hard work. Take a shovel, go in the sand until it goes.
Easier said than done, Arav. Let's find out. Frustrated, he picked up a stone and threw it down. Crack! He saw that the stone cracked, and there was a sprinkle of powder from the broken stone. He knelt down and he felt the powder between his fingers. That was it. That was his moment of determination. That was his moment of discovery. And he got an idea. Manji hurried to his hut to search for something to trade. Like Arav likes to trade Beyblades with his friend. But Arav, you're lucky you have got Beyblades. Manji had nothing. He had only 3 goats. No money, no food, nothing else to trade. So what he did, he gently looped ropes around his 3 goats and he searched for somebody who would trade with him, who would take the goats and who would give him hammer and chisel. So finally, he found someone who would trade a worn hammer, like a very old hammer, and a chisel for the 3 goats. So what he did, Arav, he traded all that he had. And all that he had was
3 goats.
He hurried back to the top of the mountain. He positioned the chisel and he aimed with the hammer. He swung the hammer very hard and clink! A small, tiny chip of rock came out. Is it easier to break the mountain, Arav? Very difficult. So when he swung the hammer, a very tiny chip came out. Over and over, again and again, Manji swung and swung and swung the hammer until it was too dark to see. Until it was very, very dark in the night. Clink, clack, click, clack, clink, clack. That's how he worked. His sweaty, throbbing fingers rubbed the rough rock. He felt a tiny dent in the rock after hours of hammering.
Dent, what does that mean?
Dent is like a small, this is like straight, and dent is like bend, tiny dent. So after hammering for 3 hours, all that he could see was a very, very small dent. Would you be happy, Ara, if you worked very hard for such a long time and all you get is, just a teeny, meeny bit of result?
Yes.
He always says these great things on the camera.
But then always I can keep on trying. What's the matter?
You
A
can keep
small
on
dent
trying.
will come.
For how long would you try? 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, 2 year?
I'll try as long as I can.
As long
Until
as you
I'm
can?
powerless and I can't do anything.
Until you are powerless.
Yeah, and
How-
then I'll try going home and do
How
something.
long would you try? Do you want to find out how long did Manjhi try? You will be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be swooped off your feet. Let's find out. So, he felt a tiny dent on top of the mountain. It was small and bumpy, but it was there. 2 inches is like this much, Arab, just this much. Only this much impact he could
3
make in.
inches?
2 inches is this much, 3 inches is this much. Only this much impact he could make in 3 hours. His shoulders ached, his head pounded, but his heart was lighter. He picked his way down the mountain and across the dirt path, and he tumbled into bed. He was so exhausted and tired. All too soon, a rooster crowed. Manjhi rubbed his eyes. His hands were still raw with blisters all over them because of all the hammering the previous night. Still, he climbed the mountain again. He gripped the hammer and he pounded the chisel for hours and hours. Hold the chisel, aim and swing. Hold the chisel, aim and swing. He kept on doing this for hours and then he scrambled down to the field to hoe, water and weed on the other side where his field was there. Can you see him working on the field?
Yeah.
And as soon as he finished his work on the field, he rushed back up at the top of the mountain. And again, all he did was hold, aim and swing. Just imagine, Araf, how hard he's working. It's like going to school, studying there, and then coming back home, and then again studying and studying and studying the whole day and night, without resting for a moment. That's what Manjhi did. Working on the field, and then working on the mountain. Working on the field, and then working on the
mountain.
Day after day, Manjhi clutched the hammer and the chisel, hold, aim, swing. That's what he did. And then finally, he measured the hole that he had created. 1 foot, 2 feet. Foot is like how big is your feet, Ara? This much. 1 foot, 2 feet. Only that much of hole after 1 week of hard work. After some more days, after 2-3 weeks, he could crouch inside. He could at least sit inside the hole that he had created. And just imagine how tall was the mountain. How many days it will take for him to be able to crack the mountain open. Yeah. So people started to tell him, Manjhi, you are crazy. Manjhi, a man cannot change a mountain. It's there before you were born and it will be there after you die. You are wasting your time and effort. Manjhi, you are being very, very foolish and crazy. You should stop it right away. But, Manjhi could see something that nobody could. He could imagine the parting of the mountain into 2 great halves with a road in between them. A road where people could get to work, to market, to school, even to the hospital more easily. Nothing could stop Manjhi. Not words, not teasing by the people, not time, not even the mountain itself. Day by day, night by night, he sent chips and powder tumbling down his shoulders. And working this hard year after year, his hairs became white. 1 year passed. Every day, Manjhi was a little stronger and the hole was a little deeper and longer. Now it was 10 feet forward. Then gradually it became 20 feet forward. And just like this, 10 years passed. How many years, Arav?
10.
Just imagine doing this for 10 years. Do you think he did it?
Yeah.
Do you think there is a way through the mountain now?
I think so, yeah.
Let's find out. Still, it was too far for children to walk to school, and the sick people couldn't get to the hospital on time. Still, there was no road on the mountain, and the villagers, they spent countless hours climbing the mountain to work in the fields and shop in the markets on the other side of the mountain at the other village. But Manjhi did not slow down. 10 years of his effort, and still there was no road. But did it stop him?
No.
It did not stop Manjhi. Hold, aim, swing. All Manjhi did was
Hold, aim, swing.
hold, aim, and
Swing.
swing. He pushed forward. Now it was 30 feet. After a few years, it became 50 feet. And the sides of the hole towered over his body. Can you see how Manjhi is working? First he was young, then he became a little bit older, and then he's some more old. You see? You can see his white beard, and you can see he's a bit weaker than before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. After 15 years, people started to see what he had seen. Now Manjhi has become very old. Can you see a man with a white cap on top and with white beards? And some kids are holding his dress, some are holding his finger. Can you see that man?
Yeah.
That is Manjhi. Adults who had been children when he began to chisel the mountain, they marveled at Manjhi's hard work and determination. And new children who were born very recently, who had never known a time when Manjhi wasn't striking the mountain. They used to call him the mountain man, the man who is always striking the mountain. So you know what they used to call him? Mountain Chacha, Mountain Chacha. So he came to be known as Mountain Chacha in his entire village. Everybody watched him in awe. What is he made of? How is he so strong? His mind is so strong. He never gives up. 100 feet forward after 15 years, and then 200 feet. Now each time he returned to his task, Manjhi could see that helping hands were there. People were starting to help him out. They were starting to believe in his vision that there could be a way through the mountain. The same people who mocked at him earlier, Manjhi, you're foolish, you're crazy, you can never do it. The same people started to help him out now. Sometimes they would leave food for him so that he could eat something. Warm roti dripping with melted ghee. Sometimes tins of spicy dal tickled his nose. And once he even received a present, which was a shiny new hammer and chisel, glinting in the shining sun. By the 22nd year, how many years are there?
22nd.
Just like our story number 22. Whispers swept through both villages. He did it, it's happening. There is a way through the mountain now, it's almost there. People started to whisper. Every day, more and more people gathered around the mountain. The parents lifted their little ones on their shoulders so that the little ones could see at the other side of the mountain. They wondered if today would be the day. when there would be a road through the mountain,
Hmm.
and all Manjhi did was
Aim.
hold,
Aim,
aim, and swing. Men, women, children, they held their breath. Manjhi could hear his heart beating as loudly as the hammer hitting the rock. And all he did was
Hold, aim, swing.
swoosh! Where once a mighty mountain stood, there was nothing but open space and broken rocks. Manjhi did it. He did it, Arav.
Wow. But this Manjhi.
Manjhi looked from one village to the other, but for the first time, there weren't two villages. There was just one village, which was now united by the road through the mountain. Earlier, the villages were separated by the mountain, and now it's united by the road.
Did this happen in? When did it happen in Raipur?
No, it didn't happen in Raipur. It happened in one of the villages in India.
Do you know which village?
I don't know, but we can find it out after the story.
Wow.
So now there was just one village sharing water, hopes, and dreams. And a man who had moved a mountain. Arav, this story is giving me goosebumps. So this is the story of the mountain man, Manjhi. Do you like it?
Hmm.
And there is also a Bollywood movie called Manjhi, which is made on the story of Mr. Manjhi who moved the mountain. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Have any of you seen the Bollywood movie
Can
Manjhi?
I tell you something?
Yes, Arav?
That see, this would prove Manjhi also might have become a saint. And also, one moral of the story is you never give up.
You never
keep
give
on
up.
trying.
You keep
Even
on
if
trying.
people say you're a fool, dude, you'll never be able to do it. What are you doing? You're crazy.
Right. You still do it, right? So today's quiz is, if you were listening very closely, can you tell me how many years it took Dashrath Manjhi to find a way through the mountain? How many years? And by the way, Anirudh has shared with us. No, Neerav has shared with us that the name of village is Gehlaur. It's in the Gaya district of Bihar. So the village is in Bihar, Arav.
Bihar?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this with us, Neerav.
Many people are just saying no. What does
So
that mean?
once again, I'll just repeat the question for you. They haven't been to a village. That's what they're saying.
Yes, yes.
So Arav is right. So how many years it took Dashrath Manjhi to find a way through the mountain? All these years, he never even gave up once. Even then, people thought he was a fool and he was crazy to be able to think that he would be able to find a way through the mountain. But he did it. Neerav is absolutely right. It took him
22 years.
And we have some more answers.
Ariman
is absolutely right. Atharv, absolutely right. No, Ria, it took him 22 years to be finally able to break the mountain. So guys, I really love this story. I hope it inspires you to never ever give up. No matter what people tell you. Never ever give up.
One thing I used to inspire my mother. We had a pull-up stuff, and I kept on doing it. That used to inspire my mother, and
That's
she
right.
always tried. And
Kashvi,
I kept
that's
on
right.
doing it.
Right.
But
Awesome, guys. So thank you for joining us for this lovely story on Manjhi. Make sure you share it with somebody because this is a very inspiring story. So you share it with somebody who would love it and who would learn to have very strong determination from this story. And we'll see you tomorrow with another story. That will be our story number 23. We are very excited. And thank you all of you for joining us on this journey of storytelling. Take care of yourself. We'll see you tomorrow.
Next time,
Ta-ta.
can we have 2 stories?
Arav wants 2 stories. Do you also want 2 stories? Write down in the comment section and maybe we can do 2 stories tomorrow because it's Saturday and we don't have to go to school.
Hooray!
All right.
Whoa.
Bye, guys. We'll see you. Ta-ta. Take care of yourself. Love, love.
Tata.
Yes, tata.